Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I hope the Argentinian people, the Argentines, will have a good life. And under their new elected president, Milei, they will have a flourishing and beautiful life. I suspect not. I suspect that the Argentinian society will get more divided between the super rich and the rest, like Brazil, a kind of a gated community versus the rest, which these guys are turning the United States into. Middle class shrinks, and then disappears. So what's going on over here? Finally, I think they show us why United States helps Argentina and why United States have this, I would say, their boy in Buenos Aires, which is Milei. Besides the fact that look at the names and their origin of the people that Milei works with and appoints in different positions, and it helps you see a little bit more about what is going on. I think Argentina will become the bitch of the United States of America, not in a way that will promote business and will make your lives better. I hope that will happen, but history shows us otherwise. When United States comes to help you, they help themselves. Got it? Like any other country on this planet, unless they're idiots. Why? Each country looks for its own interests. I have two articles here. One is showing you, actually, I'm going to talk about the Milei's shock therapy, and I'm going to use shock therapy in psychology, which nowadays is not ethical. Why? It might create problems in the patients, so then you don't apply the shock therapy anymore. They're very much not. I am for shock therapies sometimes. It's one method that used to be used before, but now not. But somehow, Milei's shock therapy is welcomed by the Americans. Why? Because you will be shocked. You're going to be the patients, not Milei, you, the Argentinian people. So let's see what's going on here. I'm going to start with this first from Reuters. This is from 36 minutes ago. Argentina's markets wait impatiently for Milei's shock therapy. You know what it is? Milei is going to open up the country for the plunderers, like other countries. The plunderers will help you, which is help themselves, grab whatever, they will grab whatever sectors in the economy they are for. Milei will let them, they will invest, but they will own it. And then they would give you, Argentinian people, work, and you're going to work hard. I guarantee you that, under those guys. And they're going to give you some money. Not the money they would pay an American or I don't know. No, they will give you over there, okay? And they will get a profit and they will get your resources because they are not after loving you. They are after this. And it is right there. Not only that's one of your natural resources, the United States help you deal with develop, and they will help you, will support you like friends in front of the International Monetary Fund, which is a bank, right? A bank, who owns that? Oh, it's international. Okay. All right. And look, it's such garbage. So remember, the shock therapy is going to be, you're going to be shocked. Second one, Milei is going to open the economy, sectors open. They're going to allow big business from outside your country to invest and develop because they help you, they support you. The banks are going to give you loans, right? This is basically what you're going to have. Like in Venezuela, as long as Amoco or Sunoco or Facoco gets over the Venezuela's oil, they don't care what you do in Venezuela. They just want to make sure they control the oil. And you guys in Venezuela can starve, I think, according to these guys. Why? Why do they care? All they care in Venezuela is oil, as far as I know. Anything else? If Venezuela has people or doesn't have people, they don't really care. The same in Argentina. That's the way they do it. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to take over those lithium, and they're going to develop it. And then when Milei's shock therapy is going to be hitting the roof or the fan is that all shit is gonna spread, and you're gonna have a little revolution, I suspect, in Argentina. You know what's gonna happen? When the next guy, after Milei is not gonna be more than one term, I suspect, the shock therapy will fuck you up so badly that you don't want to hear about the shock therapy and Milei and IMF and United States of America for about 2 generations, I hope. Why? Because I sincerely predict Milei is going to sell your country, and those guys are going to take over. Then there's going to be a reaction from the population, which is going to be what's going on here. Milei is going to lose the elections either through a coup, military coup, or elections. And then the next one is going to try to roll back this looting of the country. And what is the next guy is going to do? He's going to say, those companies, American companies or international companies, you got to go out or you got to give us more. And then when the United States will intervene militarily and say no, or regime change. And you can't have that because that's private property. So Milei sells your country, your resources, and when the next one comes and say, oh, we want to roll that back, like, hey, Mossadegh, for Prime Minister of Iran, I think it was 1953, the same. He said, we're going to nationalize this. We can't allow British Petroleum take all our resources. We're going to nationalize this and that. What happened to Mossadegh? Go and read. The British special forces and the Americans helped a little coup. And then everything got back to normal. That's what's going to happen. And then you say, why are the Iranians hate us? Well, maybe they don't forget when they got raped a few times, okay? And then they got the Shah. And then the Shah, whew, oh, it was fantastic. For whom? Anyway, so let's get back to this one. Let's read the second article about the lithium. Buenos Aires, a U.S. delegation gave its support. You know what support is? Gave the orders with President-elect Javier Milei over talks with the International Monetary Fund. They say, you're gonna do this. They were gonna give you the money, but you gotta do this. And Milei says, yes, yes, yes. I don't know how is yes in Yiddish, but he wanna be he's deluded. Anyway, yes, I will look for it. And developing its lithium sector. What do you mean? What do you think developing its lithium sector? During a meeting in Buenos Aires, a White House official told Reuters. What do you think this means, developing its lithium sector? That tells you, our banks, we're going to give you money, going to loan you money with interest that you have to pay back. And the money you're going to use, right, to develop it, what? Invest, you as a country, you're going to invest. And you're going to have, obviously, investors, they're going to come over. You'll see. Now, let's go back. I think it's right. They say Argentina is struggling with inflation nearly 150%, while over 2/5 of the population is in poverty. Well, let's say that's 2/5, let's say 40% about, right? Let's say about 20%. Well, if you look at the United States of America, how much you think are in the poverty? Well, I'm not talking about the ones that live in the cardboard boxes under bridges. Not those. Because here people are fooled by the mass media and the politicians because they tell them, no, you have food, or you have a car to drive, you maybe have a shelter somewhere where you can live. But how many of you have $400? Remember, it was that famous poll. How many Americans have $400 in savings if something happens right now? I think that how many you don't have? How many people don't have? I think it wasn't it about 80%. Let me check. Let me find that. Great that I checked. Right here. Is nearly 4 in 10. 40%. That's 2/5. I think so. Of Americans lack enough money to cover a $400 emergency expense. Fed survey shows. So what does that mean? This article comes from May 23rd, 2023. So not 80%. It was 4 out. That's 40%. 40%, and I have now this one, where is it? ABC News, this was in 2017. Again, 40% of Americans don't have $400 in the bank for emergency expenses. So these are rich people who 40% are actually in poverty. You don't have, I mean, for a guy from outside who think, oh, I'm going to go to America. Yeah, you don't have $400. 40% of the population doesn't have $400 if something happens in the bank. Do you want me to look to see how in depth they are to credit cards? How many people are? This is not a country that is has a great middle class. It's 40% cannot provide $400. No, where I come from, when you hear that, you'll be like, what do you mean you don't have $400? What, in America? 40%? Almost half, 1 in 2? 1 in 2, almost 1 in 2. That's poor, that's poverty. That's not wealth, that's poverty. And you're caught by the balls by banks and cards, credit cards. That's what you are, which is also a bank if you want, finance system. So that's exactly, and if that's in United States of America without the IMF, what do you think you're going to do with IMF? You already are at 40% fucked up. You're going to think you're going to go to 10%? Why would you go to 10% when the Americans, the richest country in the world, is at 40%? Now you can take however you want. For me, that is poverty. 40% don't have $400 in the bank? That's poverty. It's okay, they will help you right here. Right? It's 44 billion IMF program has kids off track. So you already had some billions over there from IMF, and I'm guessing the Argentinian government fucked up. And let's go back here. I think the last article says something interesting. Milei has pledged a pro-US foreign policy. That's their boy. And being critical of China. Why? With your country's interest. Who's going to sell you cheap stuff? You are going to produce them? It would be nice if you would produce it, but you don't. I'm suspecting China produces. It's set to be sworn in Sunday. It was already done. Remember, that was pledged a pro. He pledged a pro-US because that's their boy. And then look what over here, how these guys are insulting you, my Argentinian people. Asked about a potential deal to facilitate Argentina buying used F-16 jets. He said the two sides were having discussions without giving further details. You, Argentina, like Romania, garbage, gonna buy used US. You know when the F-16s were built? 1970s. You buy something that was built 50 years ago. 50. 50. What the hell are you talking about? And let's see about this. Certainly Argentina is a source of lithium, but there is no reason that Argentina should not be refining and moving up the value chain of lithium. And we want to help. They want to help. He also said the United States was willing to support Argentina, the world's number 4 producer of lithium, expand beyond production and the key electric battery metal. All right, my friends, you got it? You got who's who, what's what? And you can go back here and check, verify more. Now let's see the F-16s, because F-16s I know where the Americans are going to phase it out. I don't think they're going to use it anymore. But never, oh my God, he's the most advanced. Oh, this is I want a Wikipedia, what the hell? Because they tell the truth all the time. Oh, man. And here it is, F-16 Fighting Falcon. So remember right here, first flight, it was in 20th of January, 1974, the first flight. When do you think it was designed? In 1969? So this is a fighter jet that was designed when supposedly, I'm not going to go into that one anyway. Again, the first was first flight in right here, 49 years ago, the first unplanned right here, first flight, and then again official 49 years ago, and it was and introduced in 78, and it was designed in 69 or something, and somewhere here, but I can't remember where in the whole this thing, it says that the Americans are trying to get rid of it, selling it to your country, Argentina, and to Romania, the other idiots. No, 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 no. This is what you would say, Argentina. Oh, you want lithium? You're gonna give us F-35s. Otherwise, I don't know. We're gonna come and buy the garbage, right? Sukhoi 35 or something, or 52 or whatever it is right now. Okay? And they're not gonna say that. Why? Because Milei is not ordering shit. He's ordering to you, the Argentinian people, but not to them. He's the middleman. He's the nice face of Argentina. He's gonna ordering you shock therapy. Bzz, bzz, bzz. You know how that is? It is a shock therapy. If someone has a, I can't remember how's that phobia called, with spiders. I can't remember, but anyway, doesn't really matter. It escapes me. You put them in a room with spiders. And you like, you either, or you're, oh, I'm not afraid. Or the same here. That's what they're going to do with you. Oh, you're going to do this, no food for you for about, I don't know how many weeks. And then we're going to give you food a little bit, just a little bit. It's a shock therapy for you. Or remember that shock therapy in the head? They would tick, 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 hitting your little head, tick, 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 to release the pressure in your brain. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Some of them are idiotic, obviously. Or the shock therapy with energy, with the shocks, electricity shocks. Again, that was another one on the brain and all that. That's Argentina for you with Milei. So the markets are waiting for that. But guess who's going to be the patient? You. Lithium, fourth producer, right? Is that what it was? The name of it? Fourth producer of lithium, right there. And you're going to become maybe more than fourth. Maybe you're going to get a second after, I know, China or whomever that is over there, or maybe Afghanistan or something. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Sorry for you guys. I hope everything is fine, but I don't think it will be. Remember, when the next guy is going to try to reverse all these things, you're going to have the Americans saying, hey, private property, you can't do that. You're a communist. You're a bad dude. Freedom this, freedom that, abuse that, rights for certain groups, this. We got to intervene in Argentina. And they will intervene. Not straight like that, from behind, like they always mostly do. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.